Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're coming here for the first time, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. My name is Uche. I'm a mommy YouTuber based in Spain. I talk about my faith, marriage, motherhood, and lifestyle in general. And to my subscribers, thank you so much. You're one of the reasons I'm still sitting here and still talking. I'm so grateful. So without wasting much of your time, you can tell from the thumbnail the topic of today, which is never say never. We are becoming a nation of never sayers. Almost everybody is guilty, yes, including the speaker. But I'll share my story shortly. There are times anyway that we can say that. For me, I think one of the times you can say that is different when you say, if you're a man or woman of faith and you say like, I will not beg for food. I will never beg for food. My father told me in his word that I will serve my Lord, the Lord of my God, and he will bless my bread and my butter. I will not die before my time because he said the days of my life he shall fulfill. That one is separate. Obviously, that's the word of God. If you proclaim it and work towards it, it will work for you. No, the one I'm talking about, one will stand in aggressive assurance, like, I can do it. I can never, ever do a thing like this. I can never take that nonsense from that man. I can never do this kind of thing. If my child as much as come close to, I will do this. I will disown him or I'll disown her and stuff like that, etc., etc. Okay. I'll tell you my story. When I started my walk with God as a Christian, yes, I've been a Christian. I was born in a Christian home. But when I started my personal journey with God, before now, I am somebody that is not very, will I say vocal? I will say vocal because as growing up as a child, I cannot remember ever being confrontational with somebody. Maybe if you were having a misunderstanding, you will talk to me and I will respond and all that. Because for me, I felt you can tell me 100 words, but maybe the one that I will tell you might make you die before your time. So I'm very careful not to speak to people, and so not to, respond to when anger sets. I don't know if you're getting me. I'm not that kind of person that is quick to speak, especially when I'm angry, because I know, like I said, I know that the one word that I will say will destroy or will give you that hard knock on your heart that you might not forget in a hurry. So because of that, I'm very careful not to speak. So the only way I understood to fight my battle was silence. And when I keep silent, 1 week, 2 weeks, with time, you might be sitting close to me. For me, at that time, you stopped existing. So when I started my journey with Christ, I knew that was one part of my lifestyle that I needed to change. Because of course, the first step to deliverance is acknowledging that it's a fault that you have. Okay, so I started working on it. By the grace of God, I got to a point that I started forgiving people before time. Even when you try to offend me, the next 30 minutes or 1 hour or a day, I find it very easy, to forgive, to let go and all that. So I got to that point, that very short point, that there's nothing anybody could do to me that will offend me. So I was privileged to I was appointed to become one of the Sunday school teachers in my local church. And so there was a series that just came up, and it was about unforgiveness. Hey, I was so excited because I thought in my mind that part of my flesh, I had killed it, So when it was my, time to speak, I was just speaking with so much assurance, like I will never ever be offended by somebody. Nobody born can offend me, and I will not forget that kind of. I know we are used to that kind of thing. Brothers and sisters, at that point, it's not like people were not offending me. They were offending me, but it was at that point I started talking that I will never have forgiven many people before even the offense came. That was the period. It was as if the gates of hell were opened. People started offending me, even the very least people you expect, they start offending me. In those days when our mothers beat us and they would say, close your mouth, don't say. That was the level of the offense I was getting. And I was almost pulled off my balance. And sometimes I'll just ask God, is it what it takes? Is it the kind of trash you will eat? They will offend you and you're trying to pick up from where, they offended you, to try to forgive and let go. Another one will come. I don't know if you're getting me. So I got to that point, I started praying. I started asking God, applying for the grace of God to see how I can overcome that. Because at that point, I started losing my peace. And that was not the purpose of my journey, basically. So with time, by the grace of God, I started overcoming all those things. I started making peace and all that. What I'm trying to say is this. I believe at any point in our lives, we started standing on that, I'm so sure of myself. I cannot do this thing. I can never do this. God is one side looking at us like because he's the only one that can predict the future. He's the only one that knows what you can do and what he can do the next minute. You're saying it like because people change. People change their minds. Anything can happen. Economy change, human beings change. So sometimes when we say, I can never, God will just be watching us and be smiling because he knows what awaits us the next minute. So the two things I understood from that is either there was a part of my flesh that needed to die that God wanted to bring out. And another thing also made me to understand that I got to a level I thought I was sure of myself. And that level is not good. Now, one day I now came across this verse of the Bible, Mark 14:31. I will not just say it. We'll read it together. Okay? Mark 14, verse 31. I'll start from 30. Jesus said to Peter, I tell you that before the cock crows twice tonight, you will say 3 times that you do not know me. 31. Peter answered, even more strongly, like I did, I will never say that. Somebody say never. I will never say that, even if I have to die with you. He said, I will never. And I'm sure God was just laughing at him. Did he or did he not, deny Jesus Christ? He did. He denied Jesus Christ. So I think as humans, we should be careful never to use that word, I will never, in a hurry. Like I said, because we cannot predict tomorrow. Systems can change. Therefore, people can change. I think we have, to understand it is only by the grace of God, that will stand. Especially when we stand, we say that I will never, especially when we are trying to be judgmental. Somebody is in a particular situation and you're saying, I will never. You have to be careful because you might just be judging somebody's battle, not knowing that that particular thing you're judging might just be waiting for you the next month. You just have to be careful never to say never in situations you have never seen yourself in, because you might just do opposite of that thing you said, I will never. I have seen somebody that said, I will never marry a pastor. Today, she's not just married, she's happily married to a pastor. I know of a man, till this minute I'm sitting here, prior to the time he got married, he heard the news of a man or a friend of theirs that gave birth to the second girl. And the next thing this man said, girl, is that one child? How can somebody have a girl 2 times? And that person said, I can never live with a woman giving me only girl. Is that one a child? Brothers and sisters, as I'm sitting down and talking to you, this man has 4 or 5 kids, girls. Is he still living with the woman? Yes, of course. He's still living with the woman. So my point is this. Let us be careful with this word. We don't know how strong this word is. I've seen someone that was so sure of himself that he will make heaven, that he even if you say a small lie, it is lie. I cannot say a small lie. It is compromise, which is true. But God is the only one that searches the heart. When he understands that you're doing it, you're saying it, and you're thinking it, and you're acting it like you have the power to do it, you would just be surprised that you find yourself doing that same thing. I've come close to that person I'm still saying, and found out that he was still saying all those small lies. Within him, he will know that he's somehow a hypocrite, but he just cannot help it. And he doesn't know where it's coming from. And you would just be surprised. You wouldn't know that it's coming from just that word you said. I will never ever do this. I will never ever do that. So it's laid in my heart to talk to us today, to be careful with this word, never ever. One, when you know and you know you don't have power over anything, because the earth is Lord's and the fullness thereof. The systems can change. There are people that said the only thing that can make me stay at home is only when I'm sick. But you don't have control. Coronavirus came and you had to stay at home and you're not sick. So be careful when to say, I will never ever. Now let me balance it. It's different when we say, I think it's better we say it this way. I pray I don't see myself in a situation like this. Even if I do, Jehovah, give me the grace to know the right thing or how to handle it. There was sometime a woman was caught in adultery. I will not forget that. And one man was just shouting, if I ever catch my woman, as much as staying close to a man, talk less of committing adultery, I will send her home, I will send her packing. And I heard my husband tell this man, my brother, just pray. It is not you. Because the man that forgave his wife for committing adultery, you don't know the reason for whatever happened. You don't know that he had to forgive the wife. So just pray. You don't find yourself in that kind of situation or a similar situation. Just make demands for the grace of God. Because at the end of the day, it is not of him that willeth or him that runneth. It is by the grace of God. It is only God that shows mercy. So that is what is to speak to us. And I believe this word might change someone, including me. I used to tell you, I used to do it. I got so confident in myself that I had killed my flesh, not knowing what was awaiting me, just around the corner. It wasn't even up to a week. So let us always make demands on the grace of God. I hope somebody learned something, one or two things from my story. If you have such experience or something like this has happened to you or somebody you know, please be free. Always feel free, to share with me in the comment section. This woman right here, I love my comment section and I love to learn from people's experience, from my experience, from anything. For as long as I'm concerned, living my life is learning. I cannot stop learning. So if you had such experience or somebody you know that has passed through, please be free to share. And I will see you very, very soon in my next one.